What's up, everybody? Welcome to A Bunch on Disney. We're going to cover a bunch of stuff.
On Disney.
That's right. It's our favorite place.
It is our favorite place. It's a happy place.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So in today's episode, we're going to be talking to all of our foodie friends. Yeah, and by the way, she's a bigger foodie than I love food. I mean, you can probably tell I love food. But when it comes to memory food, because that's what a lot of people that would say they're a foodie are.
Yeah.
That is a big thing. So what we're going to talk about is our favorite snacks.
In Epcot.
In Epcot, which is... It's our
where all
favorite
the
part.
best snacks.
Yeah, and Epcot, we love all of Epcot, but I would say probably...
It's World Showcase.
It's World Showcase, because that's where the food is.
That's where most of the food's at.
If you've been to Disney, you know exactly what we're talking about. And if you haven't, that's where if you're a foodie and you've never been to Disney, I'm telling you, World Showcase at Epcot is the place to go. And actually, one of the things that makes it so magical and so amazing, and not everyone knows this, but they actually bring in people from those countries to the countries that are represented at World Showcase. So those people, they get student visas. They actually stay in the States for at least a year or more. So when you go to France, there's actually people there from France. When you go to Italy, there's people there from Italy. When you go to Mexico, there are people there from Mexico. It takes the authenticity to another level.
It does. You know what I love, too, is on their name badge, not only does it have their name, it says where they're from in that country.
Absolutely.
So,
and you know what's funny is that actually that is a great conversation starter because every single cast member, which is someone that works at Disney, they call them cast members, they all have that. So every once in a while I've actually run into people that are not just from St. Louis, they're from, like Wentzville, which is actually where we live.
Yeah.
We live in the Midwest of the Midwest. Wentzville, which sounds like something out of Dr. Seuss. But it's such a great conversation starter when you're at the park. So anyway, I digress. Let's get into it. So what's our first snack, Heather, for all of our foodie friends?
Now, these are going to be in no particular order. We're just going to go through some snacks. We're not necessarily working our way around the country, although I guess we could.
We could.
Start in Mexico. No, let's start with Mexico, because Mexico, my preferred snack there is the churros with the caramel sauce.
Yeah.
So they're little mini churros. And they have a caramel dipping sauce. It's kind of like a dulce de leche type sauce. It's a little on the thinner side, so it's not a typical caramel, Americanized caramel sauce. But it is very delicious and cinnamony.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I love it too. I mean, I don't recall the snacks as well as she does, to be honest with you. I've got my certain go-tos. And again, these are in no particular order. I will say you're going to find a common theme in a lot of our snacks, that a lot of them are in one country.
Yes.
Which is
France.
Yeah, we love France. It's just magical.
France
for us.
Desserts.
Yeah, and we're like at the time of this episode, the new ride Remy has not been released yet, so we're really looking forward to Remy.
Absolutely. Speaking of go-to snacks, though, what is your go-to snack in France for years?
So this is one for years. Now, recently when we went on a trip, I would say that it's changed for me. We're going to leave that one for last.
Yeah,
we're going to leave it for last. But my go-to, because I'm a big chocolate fan, I love chocolate, but the chocolate mousse that they have at the France Pavilion.
It's at the French bakery, which...
The French bakery.
I am not going to pronounce Les Halles de Bougelais Patisserie.
Yeah, we're excellent at butchering things. But it is by far has been one of my go-to. I mean, like so just as the definition, and we were actually talking about this earlier, the definition for us, for these foodies, for these choices, like there's a lot of things that we enjoy at the parks. So many things. These are the things that when we think of them or we see someone talk about them on a YouTube channel or on some kind of blog or vlog, we're like, oh, it hurts my heart that I'm not eating this right now.
I can taste it.
Exactly. Yeah. Like it's like, gotta have it. And mousse for me is definitely one of those things.
Yeah. One of my go-to snacks has always been in Norway, the school bread. So it's kind of like a sweet roll filled with custard and rolled in coconut, which I'm a big fan of custard and coconut.
Like everything in that sentence she loves.
Yeah, pretty much. An honorable mention, though, because one time for some reason I think they were out of the school bread, And I got the pretzel. They have a sweet pretzel with a glaze and like slivered almonds. That was fantastic. I really liked that. That was a nice alternative. It does have raisins, so you know, you're not a raisin fan.
It's probably not going to be your thing.
But it was very tasty, and I had like the glaze was like an almond glaze. It kind of flaked off a little bit when you ate it. It was a little messy, just crumbly messy as far as when the glaze pops off, but very delicious.
So the next thing on our list is we find it in Canada. We actually heard about this, I believe, first through the Disney food blog.
Yes.
Like I've gone by. We love. There's so many things in Canada that we love, the Lavalier and stuff. We'll get into the restaurant side of things that we love later. Yeah. But I actually did not even realize that this was something until the Disney food blog. We will leave a link to that because they do an amazing job of really going through all kinds of top 10, top list things when it comes to the parks and the cruises.
They do a great job making me feel hungry.
Yeah, they're really good at making me overeat at home because I'm visualizing myself in the park. But is the poutine. It's the fries with the cheese on top of it and just various types of dressings and stuff. A gravy. Yep. You can get other things on it too. And I know there's a place in Disney Springs that does like all these extravagant poutines.
Yeah, the daily poutine.
Right. And by the way, these snacks that we're talking about, they actually meet a couple different criteria. We should have mentioned this up front. But number one is these are all snacks that you can get with the Disney dining plan. Okay, so these are all snacks that you can get with a snack credit. And number two, these are things that are there all year round. So these are not like the top things that we loved for the Food and Wine Festival, for the Flower and Garden Festival. Yeah. These are things that are there as staples that you can get at any time.
Yeah, we wanted to mention ones that regardless of what time of year you're there, you could get these snacks because they're always on the menu. Well, and speaking of the poutine, we had the traditional poutine, and they have a couple different kinds. I think there's a roast beef one.
Okay, yeah.
It might vary a bit, but it's all basically the same. Cheese curds, some kind of a gravy of some sort, and then the fries. And then sometimes they'll add a different meat or something like that. But definitely shareable.
Yeah.
It's a shareable snack for sure. I would like to make mention of the apple strudel in Germany. And it has like a warm vanilla sauce with it. That's a very nice one. It's one of the, I can't remember. We saw some video one time. It was talking about how much apple strudel they made, and it was a lot. But it's a really nice, warm, kind of homey feeling dessert. Or you could use it as a snack. You can get it also at the beer garden as one of the desserts there as well, or at the counter service. So
cool. Yeah, and I think it's fantastic as well. What's another one of our favorite ones?
Ice cream. Because we all scream for ice cream.
Yes, and I love ice cream.
I know, which there's a lot of places in Epcot that you can get ice cream, but our personal favorite is
in France.
Yeah.
Like on this last trip where we went with Evan and Aubrey, which is our two oldest. We have another daughter. Her name is Grace, and she actually stayed here with my mom on this last trip. But they love the ice cream. We love the ice cream. We all scream for ice cream, but the ice cream in France is amazing.
Delicious. It's very creamy. It's very rich. They have your traditional flavors, and then they also have some more fun flavors. They have a really good coffee one. I had the salted caramel, which was glorious. And
I don't remember, but I probably went with chocolate. Chocolate's kind of my go-to.
Okay. Just go back to Germany for a second.
Okay.
Carameled popcorn.
Oh my gosh.
They make this by the buttload.
Fresh.
Yeah.
How often? I mean,
I don't know how often.
I think it's like
you
daily.
You can just watch them making it, and they're bagging it up.
It's amazing.
It is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Please buy the large one. They have a small and they have a large. I think it's maybe $2 difference in between. Splurge the $2 and get the large one. They actually are both a snack credit. Also, you do not have to wait in the long dessert. They have like a chocolate little counter. You don't have to wait in the entire line. You can grab a bag and then go to another register in that store, in the Werther's store. But please get yourself some caramel popcorn. Some people have said you can save it, and then if you microwave it, it will freshen it up. It will, but it won't get quite the same crispy popcorn flavor again. The caramel's still delicious, but the popcorn is best consumed Well, within the day.
Yeah, and
But the next day is not too bad either.
Right. And we've been on trips where it's just us. We've been on trips with some of our kids. We've been on trips with extended family with over 20 people before. And, I think one of the good reasons why she says go ahead and splurge and spend the $2 and get the large is because, you know what? Share it. Share it, because I guarantee you anyone that has any kind of inkling where they might enjoy caramel will enjoy that popcorn.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we do have to go back to
France. Yeah.
France. We're going back to France.
Yeah.
So this will be our last two that we're going to mention. So now this one that I'm mentioning now is not eligible for a snack credit. Mm-hmm. And that is the Macaron collection. So it's a little box, mm-hmm. and I think it had 6 in it, mm-hmm. and it's like $10 and some change.
Yeah.
Totally worth it.
Yeah.
I don't normally say that about anything that's over $10 for a snack.
No.
The flavors were phenomenal. It had like a raspberry and a lemon, and each and every one was delicious. The macarons had just the right texture. The flavors of the cream on the inside was perfect. It was fantastic. Mm-hmm. So we would split them in half and share them because you only get
amazing.
One of each flavor.
Right, so. Right. Because it's chocolate, raspberry, and it was a green.
There was a green one, but was that a pistachio?
I think. Yeah.
But it was good.
It'll be in the comments below. So what's our, because that was our second to last one. What's our last one?
Okay, so our last one, now I know we said they're not in any particular order. However, we did save the best for last.
Yeah.
This is our personal favorite, which is your now go-to.
I would choose this over the mousse any day.
And for him to say that.
Big deal.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
To beat his mousse out, because that was always his go-to that he had to have when we went to Epcot. This is the raspberry macaron, and it's like this big around, and it's sandwiched 2 raspberry macarons, and it has a lime cream and a raspberry cream and fresh raspberries. Holy moly.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I got that one, and I think you got the mousse, and then I'm like, you have to try this.
I tried hers, it ruined my mousse. I mean, it didn't ruin my mousse.
Yeah.
The mousse is still great. I still love the mousse. But if I had to choose to be on a stranded island for the rest of my life where I would die, and I've only got 1 of 2 snacks, like, where's the rum gone?
Why is the rum gone?
Right.
The macaroon would be my choice.
Macaron. Now, it's macaron.
And I'm saying it wrong.
Macaroons are actually the cookies that are made from the coconut. So Disney blog actually has a wonderful little cheat sheet on that, so you can know how to pronounce them, because one has 1 O and one has 2 O's.
Right.
So we are referencing the ones with 1 O, macaron, and they're basically an egg. They're made from egg whites, cookie with some type of cream in the middle of some sort, sandwich between. So you got the 2 little cookies and some kind of cream in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, all of the snacks in France are just amazing, because they're just like, it's amazing. One of my favorite parts when you go to the Impressions of France. Impressions of France. The most uncomfortable seats in the world, but the most relaxing thing outside of the seats that you'll ever experience. Best music. And even though the footage is a little bit old, it's like nostalgic.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's beautiful.
If you've ever done it before, you know what we're talking about. But I think one of my favorite shots in that is when the little kids run up to
the bakery.
The bakery, and they look at all of the treats. And that's what it feels like when you go to France.
Yeah.
At World Showcase in Disney World.
And go, oh my goodness, what do I pick?
So those are our top picks for all of our foodies of snacks at World Showcase at Disney World. We would love to hear, what is your favorite snack? Now, I know that there's all kinds of really good things. What's your go-to? What would you love that you have to have whenever you go? Leave that in the comments. We want to hear about it, because you know what? We may have tried it. Maybe we haven't. There's all kinds of things that we haven't tried, and we want recommendations. So actually, you're helping us by participating in the comments below. So you know what, and if you haven't subscribed yet, we encourage you to subscribe. Go ahead and hit that notification bell. We put out these videos on a regular basis because Disney is one of our favorite things. We've been so many times, and we love to just share the things that we have learned so that help you have literally a magical experience. So guys, thank you so much. Thanks a bunch, and we'll see you in the next video.